There's a siman in Shulchan Aruch in Hilchos V'Shchodesh that gives a siman when all the Yom Tovim of the year is going to fall out, and that's based off Pesach. The Shulchan Aruch says the days of Pesach at Bash, the first day of Pesach at Tov is Tisha B'Av, Bais the second day of Pesach, Shin is Shavuos. Like this year, Shavuos was Monday. Pesach fell out this year, a famous year, Erev Pesach Shechalias B'Shabbos. So Pesach, the first day of Pesach, was Sunday. The same as Tisha B'Av as well. Also, this year, Tisha B'Av falls out on a Sunday. Something that's not common. Tisha B'Av could be on a Sunday. That happens a lot. Meaning to say is if Tisha B'Av is on a Shabbos, it gets pushed to Sunday. This year that Tisha B'Av is on a Sunday is not common. I don't want to say the next time in 20 years Mashiach's going to come before, but Al Kapanim Tisha B'Av this year is on a Sunday. I would like to speak about in today's Shiur the changes that come about to Havdalah for this Matzah Shabbos. And let's begin with Havdalah on a regular Matzah Shabbos. On a regular Matzah Shabbos, every other Matzah Shabbos of the year, every other Matzah Shabbos, we make two Havdalahs. These Havdalah by davening. Ato Chaim Tanu, that's Havdalah b'tfilah. And if a person forgets Havdalah b'tfilah, he doesn't have to daven over. Why? Because he's still another Havdalah ala kais. If a person knows that he's not going to be able to make Havdalah ala kais, he has to daven over. So one Havdalah is Havdalah b'tfilah. Ato Chaim Tanu. Before we go to Tisha B'Av tomorrow night and Sunday night, first let's speak about a regular Matzah Shabbos, and then we'll see how to apply it on a Matzah Shabbos of Tisha B'Av. We'll see how that works. So there's one Havdalah b'tfilah Ato Chaim Tanu in davening. If you forget to say that Havdalah, you don't daven over. Then there's another Havdalah ala kais. Havdalah ala kais, Yavne or Yabana, is made out of four brachas: Yayin, Besamim, Neir, Boirim Moirei Ha'esh, and Havdalah. The Ikar Havdalah is Havdalah Midiraisa. Al HaKois, that we make it Al HaKois, is Midirabanan. And that's Yayin, the first bracha. If you're going to make Havdalah Al HaKois, Yayin, you say the bracha of Yayin, Bar Priagafen. Besamim and Neir, as we're going to see in a minute, has its reasons, not really connected be'ikr to Havdalah. It's not nothing to do with Havdalah. And really, you can make the bracha, the Gemara speaks about it, if you do it separate or it's in Havdalah. L'maisa, the Gemara says that we wanted it to be ala koi, so we put it into Havdalah. But really, it has its own reasons, and it's important to speak about it because we're going to see Lagabi Tisha B'Av. Besamim, the reason we smell Besamim, either because the Neshama Yisera leaves Matzah Shabbos, so to calm ourselves down, Leheshev Net, to relax, so you smell Besamim. Or another reason for Besamim is because Gehenim, the fires of Gehenim start again, and to counteract the smell of the fires of Gehenim, we smell Besamim. Two reasons we smell Besamim, not connected to the mitzvah of Havdalah. Boire Moire Eish, like the Gemara says, was created, Matzah Shabbos created, the Hainu Adam Arishon came about to make the fire with the two rocks happen Matzah Shabbos. So therefore, Boire Moire Eish also is Matzah Shabbos. Again, really, Besamim and Boire Moire Eish, the etzem doesn't have to be in Havdalah, and if a person didn't make Boire Moire Eish and Besamim during Havdalah, he can make it later. It's not Badafka connected, but Lamaisa, it was put in Havdalah, so it should be ala kais. At kedei kach, really, maybe it should be a hefsek. You make hagafen. In middle kiddush, if you make hagafen and then you make a besamim in the middle, it's a hefsek. For Havdalah, it's not a hefsek because they put it should be ala kais. They put it into Havdalah. Ad Kedei Kach, Shlomo Zalman says that you can even if you forget to make Besamim before Amavdal, you can make Besamim after Amavdal before you drink the kais. But anyways, that's in Hilchos Havdalah, that's how they were masakin. And then the Gemara says that Lamaisa we do both. Why 2 Havdalahs? 1 Havdalah is enough. The Gemara says that the Havdalah was ala kais. Then Heni, when Klal Yisrael became poor and couldn't make it ala kais, it was put into davening. Then Hesher was put back ala kais. Lamaisa, the Gemara says we do both. It's a Gemara, we do both. So that's Havdalah on a regular week. These 2 Havdalahs, these Havdalah al HaKois, and these also, as we began, these Havdalah B'Tfilah. And now, let's move over to Havdalah on Tisha B'Av. Havdalah by davening, there should be no difference, and there is no difference. Matzah Shabbos Leil Tisha B'Av by Ma'ariv is Atachay Nantanu, Yemavdal B'Tfilah. If a person forgets tomorrow night Atachay Nantanu, you do not daven over. It's a mafurish sif in Shulchan Aruch and Hilchos Shabbos. You do not daven over, even though the halacha is that on a regular Matzah Shabbos, if you forget Havdalah by davening, and you're not going to be making Havdalah ala kois, you have to daven over. Over here, if you forget, you don't have to daven over. Why? Because you're going to be making ala kois, as we'll get to, Be'ez Hashem, Sunday night, Matzah Tisha B'Av. So if a person tomorrow night forgets Atachay Nantanu, you don't have to daven over. If you did forget Atachay Nantanu, Havdalah by davening, you should make sure to say Baruch HaMavdal. If after davening, before you want to do malacha, you want to get into your car, you want to prepare for Tisha B'Av, you should say Baruch HaMavdal. Of course, the ladies, if they didn't daven Ma'ariv, the etzem, it's like every Matzah Shabbos, they should say Baruch HaMavdal. Ladies, Lamaisa, so they'll listen to Havdalah, so sometimes if they don't say Baruch HaMavdal, but on Matzah Shabbos of Tisha B'Av, if there will be no Havdalah ala kois, they should say Baruch HaMavdal. Now we'll go over to the Havdalah ala kois. Right? We said these 2 Havdalahs that you make every Matzah Shabbos. Havdalah B'Tfilah and Havdalah ala kois. Havdalah B'Tfilah, it's regular like every Matzah Shabbos. Havdalah ala kois, as we said before, is made out of 4 parts: Yayin, Besamim, Neir, and Havdalah. Yayin, no Yayin. Why no Yayin? Because we're fasting. So you can't make Havdalah ala kois and Yayin because we're fasting. We're going to get to you. Very good. You wonder if you could give it to a cotton. Now, in a case where you need to make Havdalah, which we'll get to, you'll give to a cotton. But litchatchila, that's not the time to make Havdalah. Just like what the Gemara B'Doime Be'etzem, the Rishonim even on Medamet, not particularly for this, but just like Yom Kippur, you don't make Kiddush and a cotton should drink it. Yom Kippur is a Yom Tiv. You don't make Kiddush and give it a cotton because Asi Lemisrach. Anyways, you don't make Gofen, you don't make Havdalah. Bisamim and Boirim Moruesh is like this. Those 2 brachas, like we said before, you could really make it without Havdalah ala kois. Furthermore, the only time to make Besamim, the Birchas Besamim and Boirim Moruesh is only Matzah Shabbos. If for whatever reason you didn't make Havdalah Matzah Shabbos, and we'll get to it, these Tashlumin, Besamim is only Matzah Shabbos. So, Besamim Boirim Moruesh, do you make Tisha B'Av by night? Besamim, you do not. You do not. Why not? Because Besamim, you smell to relax yourself, and Tisha B'Av is Avelis, so therefore you do not smell Besamim. Tisharat Tzion brings to a Machloikis HaPoiskim. It's really the Mashmoyis from the Magen Avram and the Mashmoyis of the Taz. Zok the Tisharat Tzion, the Chafetz Chaim says it's a Machloikis. If not smelling Besamim is only Motzoi Tisha B'Av, Matzah Shabbos, Leil Tisha B'Av, because you're smelling besamim for the purpose, lahoshev nefesh, to relax yourself, that's why you don't smell besamim, or it's not to smell besamim the whole Tisha B'Av. Is it only Matzah Shabbos that we don't smell besamim? If somebody wants to smell besamim throughout Tisha B'Av, could you or could you not? It's a machlokes. The Chaim brings a machlokes from the Mashmoyos Achrayim HaPoskim machlokes. But one thing is clear: Matzah Tisha B'Av, we don't make a berachas besamim. Clear. The nafkamina would be, and the Chafetz Chaim in the Mishnah Berurah brings this. He's machriya. If there's a bris on Tisha B'Av, the minig of the Svardim to make a boyer mina besamim, do you make besamim as well by a bris on Tisha B'Av? The Mishnah Berurah says, Taf Kuf Nun Tesif Katan Chav Zayin, that you do not. But Oifen is being machriya that you don't smell besamim the whole Tisha B'Av. It's kedai to be mitzayin if speaking about besamim on Tisha B'Av, to bring out a very important yesod between Tisha B'Av and Yom Kippur. Even though they both may look the same in the sense of both are aser in the Chamesh Yinuyim, one with the Rais and one with the Rabbanon, but they're both aser, it looks relatively the same. It's important to note that it's cholak be'ikra b'yesodai, it's completely different. We spoke about it here at the morning kollel a year or two or three ago, lagabe Yom Kippur. Yom Kippur is a Yom Tif. Yom Kippur you make shachiyanu. Yom Kippur is a simcha. You're supposed to make shachiyanu b'simcha. The Eibush is Meichel Avonis. Yom Kippur, the inui is, like the Chinuch explains, because the theme of the day is to get closer to Hashem, to do tshuva. And therefore, when a person eats, it's harder to connect. He's feeding his gashmis, it's harder, so therefore we fast. The inui is more to refrain from connecting to gashmis. That's what it's about. At kedei kach, you're for sure allowed to smell besamim on Yom Kippur. There may even be an inyan to smell besamim. Yom Kippur is a Yom Tif. Yom Kippur you wear big day Shabbos, these white tablecloths. Tisha B'Av is not like that. Tisha B'Av, the 5 Inuyim, is to help us connect to Avelis. It's a different story. It's important to note. Going into Tisha B'Av, it's different than Yom Kippur. The reason why we have the Chamesh Inuyim, the Chacham gave us the Inuyim, is for a person to be able to connect to the Avelis, to the Churban Beis HaMikdash. Good, it's a question about if these are Isser Besamim, maybe only Leil Tisha B'Av not, but the idea of Tisha B'Av is to connect to the Avelis. So, what we have so far in Havdalah of Tisha B'Av, a year like this year, Havdalah B'Tfila Atachan Antanu, you say, Hagofen, Alakais you do not say, Besamim you do not say, Boire Moire Haish. Boire Moire Haish you say? You say Matzah Shabbos, Leil Tisha B'Av, that's the time to make Boire Moire Haish, and you say it. As we explained, you can make it even without Havdalah. And you can make it without Havdalah. If you don't make it tomorrow night, important to note, if somebody forgot to make it tomorrow night, you don't make it anymore. It's only tomorrow night. If somebody forgot to make it Matzah Shabbos, when he's going to make Havdalah, we'll get to Matzah Tisha B'Av, you don't make Boyer Moiresh. Where do you make, when? When do you make the Boyer Moiresh? When? If you're making Havdalah, so you put it in Havdalah. If you're not making Havdalah, when do you make Boyer Moiresh? So the Poskim say, the Taz, the Mishnah Berurah brings the Taz says that you say it before Eicha. Before Eicha. After Ma'ariv, before Eicha. Why before Eicha? Usually in a regular Matzah Shabbos, you make Havdalah when you come home. So maybe it should be after Ma'ariv, after Eicha at the end. Why before Eicha? So these two reasons. Reason number one, in Megillas Eicha we say, B'machshakim hoishivani. In Eicha we say that the Eibishter put us into the dark. So, You say that the Eibishter put us in the dark, and then you go and you light a candle, you make it light. What kind of pshat does it have? You said Eicha, the Eibishter put us in the dark, and you're lighting candles. So maybe you light the candle before Eicha, Boyer Moireish. V'oid, that you should have light to be able to say, to read Megillah Eicha. So maybe the proper time for Boyer Moireish is before Eicha. Be'etzem, on a regular week, there's a place where Boyer Moireish should be said. The Mishnah Brura brings the Zohar that al pi Kabbalah be'etzem Eish should be lit after Seder de Kedusha, means after Va'at HaKadosh of Matzah Shabbos. Chafetz Chaim brings it in Hilchos Shabbos. However, it's with the exception L'tzorech Mitzvah. So here it's L'tzorech Mitzvah to do it before Seder de Kedusha. Va'at HaKadosh we're going to say after Eicha. But there's a reason, there's a purpose to say it, to do it before Eicha. Maybe you do it before Eicha. Be'etzem, what's about doing it Matzah Shabbos before you go to Ma'ariv? Yeah, it's Zman Matzah Shabbos, you're about to go out, you switched out of your shoes to weekday clothing. You can make Boyer Moireish then, and there's even a Maila. Why? Because you're going to go to shul and you're going to hear Boyer Moireish in shul. L'maisa, the ladies, if they don't go to shul, they're not going to hear Boyer Moireish. So, and if you heard, they're not going to hear it. So it's pretty practical to make it at home, but I let them do it themselves. These are shaila if ladies are included in Boyer Moireish. Means besides the shaila about HAVDALAH, which is a separate shaila, there's a shaila if ladies are included in Boyer Moireish. So Memela be'etzem, in a practical, you can make Boyer Moireish before you go out to shul. And the emes is in Shmir Shabbos Kol Chasa. He says, Taka, you could do that. You bring Sir Shlomo Zalman. It's a practical, good idea. L'maisa me'idach. First of all, even though we said before that you can make Boyer Moireish before Seder de Kedusha, which means before Va'at HaKadosh, the Shulchan Aruch Rav, when quoting this Zohar, he says, but al kapanim it should be after Baruch Hu, which means after Baruch Hu of Ma'ariv. So in shul, it's going to be before Eicha, before Va'at HaKadosh, but it's after Ma'ariv. If you're going to do it at home, it's before Ma'ariv.
We do it for people that wouldn't otherwise hear. It's either do it after Eicha, which we say is a stira.
One second. Well, good, you're saying, Lamaisa, what's the Eitzah? 1 second. You're doing it for people that maybe can say it, don't have it. Oh, good, very good, very good. But first, why not to do it before? First of all, he said is because you shouldn't do it before Ma'ariv. V'oid b'chlal Reb Vosner and Shevet HaLevi questions doing it early. He says because the minig by Klal Yisrael is to do it in shul after Ma'ariv before Eicha. So he doesn't like, so you're doing it at home, you're going to stop doing it in shul, everybody's going to start doing it at home. Memeli says, Boyer Moireish in shul after Ma'ariv. You're asking, what's about the people that, let's say the ladies? So he says, and the emissaries, other poskim say like that as well. Also, Reb Moshe, Reb Yashiv, that ladies could make Boyer Moireish. They could. So he holds it's better to do it after Ma'ariv in shul, and the ladies will make it themselves. To say that it's usher to do before you go out, you zicha can't say it's usher. Shmoyer Shabbos Kachasa brings some Shlomo Zalman, you could do it then. Sure. For sure, the Iker time brought us before Eicha. If you want to do it before, you could do it before. If you didn't do it before Eicha, even though we said reasons to do it before Eicha, Avada b'di Eved, a person could do it Kol Halayla. If he missed it at shul, he missed it before, he didn't do it, it's 11 o'clock at night, he chapped that he didn't do Boyer Moireish. He can make Boyer Moireish or Matzah Shabbos, but again, only Matzah Shabbos. After Matzah Shabbos, you can't. So now we're going to move over to Matzah Tisha B'Av. Again, Matzah Shabbos, HAVDALAH b'Tfilah, and what part of HAVDALAH do you do from the 4 parts of Alakos? You only do one part Boyer Moreish. Besamim you don't say because there's no besamim, and also ala kois you don't because you can't drink the kois, so there's no agafa, no hamavdal. Now we're going to go to Matzoi Tisha B'Av, Sunday night. Havdalah betfila you don't say because you already said Matzah Shabbos. Now even if you didn't say Matzah Shabbos, and we said you don't daven over, Zok the Mishnah Berurah, I think it's his own chiddush, that you don't say Havdalah B'Tfilah Matzah Tisha B'Av, even if you didn't say Matzah Shabbos. Why? He says a reason. Because Lamaisa, the Zman to say Havdalah B'Tfilah is Matzah Shabbos. So finish, that's the Zman. You missed it, you missed it. You can't start putting it into davening Sunday night. So if you forgot to say Atachayin Antonu Matzah Shabbos, you don't say it Sunday night. Now we're going to go into Havdalah ala Kais. Havdalah ala Kais. We didn't make Havdalah ala Kais Matzah Shabbos. What's about now Sunday night? If you're going to make Havdalah ala Kais, let's just remember that you're not going to make Besamim and not going to make Boyer Moreish. Besamim and Boyer Moreish is only Matzah Shabbos, and it happens to just be you already made Boyer Moreish Matzah Shabbos. And even if you didn't, you're not going to say it Sunday night because the time to make those two brachas are only Matzah Shabbos. So now our discussion is about Hagofen and Hamavdal Sunday night. So who said you can make Havdalah Sunday night? Let's take a look for a minute on a regular Matzah Shabbos. What happens if a person didn't make Havdalah Matzah Shabbos? So there's a machloikis rishonim, tashlumin for Havdalah. Some rishonim say it's only through Sunday, and some rishonim say till Tuesday, through Tuesday. Machloikis rishonim. Lamaisa lahalocha, it's brought in Hilchas Shabbos, this machlekes. Lahalocha, the Ramah paskins till Tuesday, through Tuesday. So Mamela, it's very clear, we didn't make Havdalah Matzah Shabbos. You can make Sunday night, even though it's a machlekes rishonim, we paskin that you can make Havdalah up until Tuesday afternoon, till Tuesday night. So Mamela, for sure you can make Sunday night. However, these are new machlokes rishonim b'negei Tisha B'Av. But again, before Tisha B'Av, every Matzah Shabbos you didn't make Havdalah, you can make Hagofen and Hamavdal Sunday, Monday, Tuesday. So Mela now, Matzah Tisha B'Av, which is Sunday night, we paskin you can make Havdalah. These are new nidun in the rishonim negei particular for Tisha B'Av. The Ram brings that even like the Rishonim that say on a regular week you only have till Sunday, here they will agree that you have Sunday night as well. Why? Why do they say the Rishonim on every Matzah Shabbos you only have Sunday? So they say because b'doimet a davening, if somebody's poisheya, he misses a davening, he's poisheya, there's no tashlumen. So is it with Havdalah. After Sunday, a person's a Paisheya. We understand somebody misses sometimes Matzah Shabbos, you have Sunday. For 3 days you couldn't figure out how to make Havdalah, you're a Paisheya. However, Matzoi Tisha B'Av and Matzoi Shabbos and Sunday, you couldn't make Havdalah ala Kais, you're not a Paisheya. So therefore, even the Rishonim that say that you only have till Sunday on a regular week, here they will agree that you have Sunday night as well, so you can make Havdalah. Fine. So that's Atkan. La'alocha you can make Sunday night, and even the Rishonim that say you only have till Sunday will agree here you have Sunday night. These the Shitas Ramban that says like this: even on a regular week that you have till Tuesday, have Matzah Tisha B'Av, there's no Havdalah. No Havdalah. Why? On a regular week, there's a Chiv Havdalah Matzah Shabbos. If you couldn't make Matzah Shabbos, there's Tashlum until Tuesday afternoon. Masha'enkein Matzoi Shabbos of Tisha B'Av of this year, there is no Chiv Havdalah. Because you can't drink the kais, there is no Havdalah. It's back to what the Gemara says, Betvila ala kois, there is no Havdalah ala kois. So if there's no Havdalah, it's not applicable to Shlumen. Even like the Rishonim that say on a regular week you have up until Tuesday, this Matzah Shabbos, that there's no Havdalah Matzah Shabbos, there is no Havdalah anymore b'chlal. So interesting, there's a Machlokes Rishonim b'chlal if there's Havdalah this Matzah Tisha B'Av. L'maisa lehalacha clearly the Shulchan Aruch paskins that there's Havdalah. There's one siman in Shulchan Aruch. It's called Tisha B'Av Shachal B'Yom Rishon, which, by the way, it's not only a year like this year. If a Tisha B'Av falls on Shabbos and we push it to Sunday, it's B'Chal B'Yom Rishon. It's 3 lines, the whole siman, and the Shulchan Aruch speaks about the Havdalah. What do you do about Havdalah? So the Shulchan Aruch paskins, you make Havdalah, Matzoi, Tisha B'Av, Hagofen, and Hamavdal. Matzoi, Tisha B'Av, Lahalocha. Clearly we paskin, you make Havdalah. Clearly. Again, no Besamim and no Boyer Moireish. Even if you forgot, no, only Hagofen and Hamavdal. The Dogel of Rav is Medayik from the Maril. He says you make Hagofen, it says ala kois, but maybe you should use other Chveis Chamar Medina. The Maril says that you make Hagofen, you use wine. Zak the Dogel of Rav, you use wine. But Soy Tisha B'Av, Sunday night, when we're going to make Havdalah, you use wine. And they're Medayik using wine. And the Maril doesn't say to give it to a tinoik like it's brought Matzoi Shabbos Chazayin. Why? What's the chiluk? Last week Matzah Shabbos, it's brought a lot of noik to give it to a kid to drink. Matzah Tisha B'Av, it's not brought to give to drink that a kid should drink. The chiluk is because Matzah Chazayin, Matzoi Shabbos Chazayin, or this year it wasn't Shabbos Chazayin, but it was Matzoi Shabbos in the 9 days. Masha'enke Matzah Tisha B'Av is not in the 9 days. That's the chiluk. In the 9 days, you should give it to a tinuk. Out of the 9 days, you could drink the kais yourself. Even though the Shulchan Aruch says, and that's a noyik, that even after Tisha B'Av, through the next day, either Chatzois or the Machabas is the whole day, because the Bais HaMikdash started burning Tisha B'Av in the afternoon. Throughout Yud, when Noyeg told Tisha B'Av, told Yud in the afternoon. Lamaisa, there the Shulchan Aruch says minig kosher. Not just minig kosher to be Noyeg, not to drink wine and meat and laundry and swimming, till the next day Chatzos. That's we're noyig like that, but it's minik kosher. When it comes to the 9 days, there it just says minik, and the Mishabura, when speaking about it, says that it's usher to eat meat in the 9 days. To say he's a chilek between minik and minik kosher. And here's the place just to very bekitza to bring out that we have to understand that there's a super clear chilek between something that's Asr Medina. For an example, learning on Tisha B'Av is Dina the Hashas. Sitting on the floor is a minik. We could speak about it a whole shiur. There's a lot of things on Tisha B'Av that we do, but minik is only till Chatzos. Dina the Hashas is noyig the whole day. I get a lot of times questions, Tisha B'Av in the afternoon. Could you learn? Could you put on shoes? Whatever's noyig dina da shas is noyig the whole Tisha B'Av. Minhagim is only till Chatzos. But that's to understand that he's a chiluk. So just to be masakim, sum up everything that we spoke up until now. Havdalah, Matzah Shabbos is only betfila. We also make Boyer Moireish. Havdalah, Matzah Tisha B'Av is al hakois. And you make the Birchas HaMavdal, no Besam, no Boyer Moireish. And what we said also is Another part we said is that if you forgot Atochain Antanu Matzah Shabbos, you say it. You don't say it. You don't daven over, and you don't. Why? Because you're going to make Havdalah Matzah Tisha B'av, and then Avad. If you forgot, you don't say it Matzah Tisha B'av. There is be'etzem another chelik of a good few more minutes b'neigeya to somebody that eats on Tisha B'av. The Havdalah halachas, but that's going to have to be sometime later today. I must probably record it, a separate chelik. It's still going to take another good 10 minutes, so we'll keep it as a part 2. If it's relevant to anybody, it'll be available on the shul's website on Torah Anytime. If somebody does have to eat, then he has to make Havdalah. When do you make Havdalah? Ladies making Havdalah. Do kids make Havdalah? If you make Havdalah, what do you drink? That's a separate discussion. Have a wonderful Shabbos. And I just want to be Messiah. We spoke about making Havdalah. The Satmar Rebbe, the Divrei Yoel, said over that he remembers his father-in-law, his first father-in-law before the war, Tisha B'av in the afternoon, under a tree, humming the nusach of Kiddush, because when Mashiach is going to come, Tisha B'av is going to be a Yom Tov. And he was connecting to the day of Tisha B'av. Avada, he's sitting on the floor on these kinnis. And the person's supposed to be bitzar ba'avelis. But it's all with the connection, with the understanding, and with the hope of the Binyan Bais HaMikdash. So even though we spoke about Havdalah, we should be Zoicha. Tisha B'av is going to turn into a Yom Tov. And he was humming the Nusach HaKiddush, and we make Kiddush. Matzah Shabbos will be a Kiddush of Yaknaz. We should be Zoicha to the Binyan Bais HaMikdash HaShlishi B'mheir B'yameinu.